Hello, my name is Joshua Brown from the job aptitude testing website howtobecome.com, and in this tutorial I will teach you how to pass a predictive index assessment test. So if you have a PI test coming up, then please make sure you stick around until the end of this tutorial, because I promise I will help you to pass it. To achieve that goal, we'll take a look at the different types of predictive index test questions that may come up during your assessment. We'll then take a look at the step-by-step instructions on how to tackle each predictive index assessment test question type. Plus, I'll give you plenty of essential tips to help you pass your predictive index assessment at the very first attempt. And finally, I will tell you where you can instantly access hundreds of predictive index style test practice questions and the fully worked answers. Oh, and just very quickly, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I want to help you to pass your aptitude tests by giving you brilliant practice to the toughest predictive index test questions, and I can only do that if you are subscribed. And please don't forget to hit that like button, because this tells me you find these tutorials useful. Okay, let's start off by looking at this PI assessment test example style question. Question 1 is this: which of the answer options should come next in the sequence? Here is that sequence, and here are your answer options. Is it A, B, C, D, or E? Now, this question type is called abstract reasoning. The abstract reasoning test is designed to assess a candidate's ability to perceive and interpret visual patterns and relationships. This test question type typically includes questions related to visual series, visual analogy, and common features. You will have a limited time to answer each question, so effective time management is crucial. Importantly, there are no penalties for incorrect answers, so it's advisable to provide an answer even if unsure. So what answer did you get? Well, let's take a look at the explanation. So try to look for the pattern in the sequence before looking for the correct answer option. Remember that the color variations may not mean anything in the pattern. They could be there as a distraction, and likewise the shape changes could be there as a distraction, and it could all be about the colors. However, in this sequence, the colors are very important. As the sequence progresses, the blue shapes turn green, the green shapes turn yellow, and the yellow shapes turn purple, and the purple shapes then turn red, and finally the red shapes then turn blue. So let's take a look at what I mean by that. If we follow this blue square on the left hand side here, we can see that it goes from blue to green to yellow to purple, and then therefore the next color will be red. And we can have a look at that by starting with a purple shape. We go from purple to red, and then background for the sequence to blue to green, and then from green it will be yellow. So we can look at that pattern, and we can quickly eliminate answer options. So knowing that this purple square here should actually be red in the next sequence, we can easily eliminate C from our answer options. And this is the best way to do it. We use a process of elimination very quickly. So the correct answer here, if you haven't got it, is B. Now, understanding this may take some practice, and that is why I now want you to try some of these abstract reasoning sequence questions yourself under timed conditions. So let's take a look at more abstract reasoning questions under those time conditions, and then we'll move on to verbal reasoning questions. And just quickly, I get asked all the time why abstract reasoning questions are used. Well, there are several reasons why they're used, but one common reason is for jobs that require any kind of spatial awareness, pattern recognition, and problem-solving skills. They may use abstract reasoning tests to predict how well candidates will perform in those roles involving those types of visual analysis. Okay, let's take a look at the next question. So this is your turn now. So please put your answer to question 2 in the comment section below the video for marking. Thank you very much. So question 2 is this: which of the answer options should come next in the sequence? Here is that sequence, and here are your answer options A, B, C, and D. I'm going to give you 15 seconds on the timer to work this out. It is important that you practice these questions under timed conditions, as your real predictive index assessment will be under timed conditions. However, if you need more time, please do pause the video. I would much rather you take all the time you need to get to the right answer, because once you understand how these questions work, you can always practice more questions to improve your speed. Okay, your 15-second timer starts now. Brilliant. How did you get on? Don't forget to let me know your answer in the comment section below, where I'll mark it for you. And if you need any further help, do let me know there. I reply to every single person who leaves a comment on my channel. Question 3 is again this: which of the answer options should come next in the sequence? Here is that sequence, and here are your potential answer options: A, B, C, or D. So again, you have 15 seconds starting now. So now that we've had a little bit of practice of the abstract reasoning questions, let's now take a look at the predictive index style verbal reasoning questions. Now, verbal reasoning tests can be great at predicting job performance. Jobs that require strong communication, language comprehension, and critical thinking skills may use verbal reasoning tests to predict how well candidates will perform in roles involving written or verbal communication. So let's take a look at antonyms. Here is the question. Choose the antonym for the word benevolent. Is it A, malevolent, B, altruistic, C, kind, or D, generous? Well, in these verbal reasoning questions, you're presented with a word, and your task is to choose the word that is the most opposite in meaning. So for this question, the answer is this. The word benevolent means showing kindness and goodwill. The antonym, or the word with the opposite meaning, is malevolent, which implies a desire to do harm or evil. So the correct answer option for this is A, malevolent. Okay, before we move on to some verbal reasoning practice questions for you to try under timed conditions, I want to show you an analogy question also. So here is that question. Cat is to kitten as dog is to blank. Is it A, calf, B, cub, C, puppy, or D, foal? Now, analogies involve recognizing relationships between pairs of words and applying that understanding to find a similar relationship in a different pair of words. So the explanation for this question is the relationship between cat and kitten is that a kitten is a young cat, and in a similar vein, a puppy is a young dog, making it the correct analogy. Therefore, answer option C, puppy, is the correct answer. Now, before I give you some practice questions for you to try under timed conditions, at any point during this tutorial, and only if you want to, you can click that link in the top right hand corner or in the pinned comment below this video and head through to my website, howtobecome.com, where you can access hundreds of predictive index aptitude test preparation style questions, including the ones we're covering right now, plus the fully worked answers and strategies to pass each question type to make you the standout candidate. Okay, now it is your turn. Please put your answer to question 6 in the comment section below the video for marking. Thank you very much. So question 6 is this. Choose the antonym for the word prolific. Is it A, fruitful, B, barren, C, productive, or D, fertile? You have only 7 seconds this time to let me know your answer in the comment section below, starting now. Okay, question 7 is this. Tree is to forest as book is to blank. Is the blank A, library, B, school, C, page, or D, author? Your 7 seconds start now. The next verbal reasoning question is this. Select the synonym for the word lethargic. Is it A, energetic, B, vigorous, C, sluggish, or D, active? Now notice in this question, you're not being asked what the antonym is, but instead the synonym, which means words that have a similar meaning. So think about that when answering this question. Your 7-second timer starts now. Okay, let's take a look at one more verbal reasoning question. Water is to ocean as sand is to blank. Is that blank A, desert, B, beach, C, mountain, or D, park? 7 seconds starts now. Okay, let's now take a look at predictive index style numerical reasoning questions. The numerical reasoning test is designed to assess a candidate's ability to work with numbers and interpret numerical information. This test is based mainly on questions relating to math problems, number problems, and number sequences. You will have roughly 14 seconds to answer each question, so it may be unlikely that you'll be able to answer all of the questions. Therefore, I recommend you prioritize accuracy in your answers. So let's take a look at one of the questions. Question 10. Question mark plus question mark multiplied by question mark equals 23. So we need to work out what those question marks are. Now, in this question type, designed to help you prepare for your predictive index numerical assessment, your task is to work out which numbers should replace those question marks. Please note, you can only use numbers between 1 and 9, and a number can only be used in the calculation once. It is also important to note the rule of BIDMAS must be used. So if you don't remember what BIDMAS is, I'll run through that in a second. So to work out this example, you could use the following steps. Step 1 is this. Understand which calculation needs to come first, as per the rule of BIDMAS: brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So in this example, multiplication must be first. Step 2, find a multiplied figure which comes to less than 23. For example, 7 multiplied 3 equals 21. And then finally, step 3, what figure added to 21 will give us the end result of 23? In this case, it is 2. So a correct calculation could be 2 plus 7 multiplied by 3 equals 23. It's so important you remember the rule of BIDMAS. So now it's time for you to try some of these questions yourself, because it will give you an indication of what you need to do to complete the real assessment. Question 11 is this. Question mark plus question mark minus question mark equals 15. You have 14 seconds on the timer. Remember the rules of BIDMAS. 14 seconds starts now. Okay, let's make this a little bit more interesting just by changing up how the question is asked, but it's the same question in practice. So using the digits below, complete the following calculation below. Each digit can only be used once. So we've got our digits of 1 to 9, and you have your question of question mark plus question mark multiplied by question mark gives us an answer of 43. So you have 14 seconds to work this out starting now. You're doing brilliant. If you need any help, do let me know in the comment section below. Let's take a look at one more question like this before we move on to the behavioural assessment. So question 13 is this. Question mark divided by question mark plus question mark gives us an answer of 11. 14 seconds starting now. Okay, the Predictive Index behavioural assessment requires you to analyse 2 identical lists containing 86 different adjectives. For the first list, you must select the adjectives which you think describe how other people expect you to behave. For the second list, you simply select the adjectives that you feel describe you. So here are some sample questions that I would consider useful in your preparation for the Predictive Index behavioural assessment. So here's one example. Which of the following adjectives describes dominance? And then you have approachable, systematic, placid, and results driven. Another question could be something like this: which of the following adjectives describes formality? Commanding, methodical, talkative, or steady? So during your predictive index behavioural assessment, each of the adjectives falls into one of 4 categories: dominance, extroversion, patience, and formality. There are no right or wrong answers, but depending on the role you are applying for, there will be certain characteristics that are favoured over others potentially. So for example, employers hiring for a managerial role may favour qualities such as assertive, enthusiastic, and structured over qualities like impulsive, docile, or reserved. Now, to gain a better understanding of the characteristics of each of the 4 categories, you can use the practice tests that we provide to identify the traits being assessed and reflect on how your own personality correlates. So to do that, please make sure you click that button in the top right hand corner of this video right now. Head through to my website howtobecome.com, where you can get access to hundreds of predictive index preparation style aptitude test questions and the fully worked answers to each question. In fact, there's over 700 questions in that resource for you. And you can literally have online access within 2 minutes from now, and it's guaranteed to help you prepare effectively for your next job aptitude test, and also more importantly, put you ahead of the competition. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe, as I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible pass their aptitude tests and job interviews, and I can only do that if you are subscribed. Please also hit that like button, as that encourages me to make more videos just like these. If you have any questions regarding aptitude tests, please feel free to put these in the comment section below, where I will get back to you. And finally, don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below. It is always great to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best with your assessment. Have a brilliant day.